Three brutal ways to start preparing for life at 70 in 2026. Looking at this title, I know you're telling yourself already that, Joe, I'm in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s right now. Why are you talking about 70 from now? What if I don't live up to that 70? That is what you are thinking. What if you live beyond 70? Only God knows how long we are going to be here. But regardless of the fact that we don't know how long we are going to be here, that doesn't negate the fact that we need to prepare ourselves for life ahead. Because at 70, we are still going to be paying bills just as much as we are paying bills now. At 70, we are still going to be eating. In fact, that time you're going to be your job, most of the jobs that you're going to be doing by then is just to be sitting down. And you know, when you are sitting down, you are lying down, all of that, you tend to be eating more than the person that is moving from one place to another. So your expenses that time is going to be more than the expenses now. And if you are still going to be eating by then, if you are still going to be paying bills at 70, then it worth preparing for that time. From now that we are still in our 30s, in our 40s, in our 50s. So today I'm going to share with you three brutal ways in which you can start preparing for life at 70 in 2026. Because whether we like it or not, if Jesus tarries, 70 years is going to meet you here, and you're still going to pay your bills. So number one way is to understand the fact that there is no savior anywhere waiting to save you at 70. That is a brutal truth. But because of the fact that the world is full of illusions, we tend to have that idea of savior around, and one of the greatest illusion when it comes to human being is the illusion of savior. Every other animal, goat, lion, every other animal, they have accepted the fact that there is no savior to save them except human being. Human being have that illusion of savior. If you go and meet a goat that, oh, who is your savior? A goat will tell you that I am my savior. You go and meet a lion and you ask a lion that, oh, if you get to meet lion, a lion will go to, if you ask a lion that, who is your savior? A lion will tell you that I don't have a savior except myself. But if you ask a human being, it's a different ball game. Human being has an illusion of savior, outside savior that is coming to save him. So because of that, we tend to feel comfortable sometimes. We tend to lean in some kind of institution that we're not supposed to lean on. Like, for example, an employee will lean on his employer as his savior. You will see parents leaning on their children, hoping that their children are going to be their savior when they get to 70. Little do we know that we live in a generation of one man for himself. Hardly before you see children taking care of their parents. In this generation, we have a bunch of ungrateful children. In this current generation right now, we live in a generation of one man for himself. So if you are investing in your children with the hope of having them as your savior at 70, you are doing yourself a great disservice, because we live in a generation. It is hard to put it that way. That's why I tell you that it's a brutal truth. We live in a generation of one man for himself. Your children, as you are taking care of them, you are investing all your resources in them. You are not investing in assets. You are not investing in any other property. You see your children as the property that are going to be taking care of you at 70 you see them as your savior, they're going to disappoint you, because of even those children that you are hoping to take care of you at your vulnerable age, they themselves cannot sort themselves out yet. So how are you expecting them to sort you out at your vulnerable age? So we should not look outside of ourselves to wrap our mind on that idea of a savior. There's no any other savior except you and your God anywhere. Like and it's so unfortunate that other animals has figured that out for themselves. A lion knows that he is his own savior, and God is his own savior and himself. Likewise to goat, likewise to your dog, any other pets that you have around you, they know they are their own savior. It's only you and I that don't want to agree to the fact that we are our own savior. And the earlier we wrap our mind around that truth, around that brutal truth that we are the only savior that we have in this world apart from God, the better for us, because that is going to sit us up, that is going to make us to do everything possible to start doing things to help ourselves. I want you to picture this. Imagine yourself in an estate farm, whereby to your left you have a poultry farm of at least an acre with thousands of birds, and to your right you have a piggery farm of at least an acre with thousands of pigs, and to your front you have a cattle ranch of about 5 acres with thousands of cows, and to the signboard you see your name as the owner. How are you going to feel? Are you still going to be worrying about your future and that of your loved ones? Of course not, because you have put a system in place to be working for you even while you sleep. That is the reality that we are selling you at Aroko Farm and Resort here at Ayetoro, Abeokuta, Ogun State. This is especially for modern farmers that want to have their farm in an estate farm that is void of banditry and kidnappers. Here you are fully secured, and the most important thing is the fact that we have our farms in different clusters. We have cluster for cocoa, cluster for palm tree, cluster for animal farm, and clusters for cash crop like tomato. So if you want to be part of this movement of urban farmers, put a call to me now and make a down payment of 500,000 naira for any of the clusters. I'll spread your balance for 6 months, 12 months. So that's the first point. So the second point is the fact that since we have known that we are the only savior, that you that is watching this is the only savior that you have, since you know that, the second thing is to start creating systems to serve as a leverage that can be working for you at that vulnerable age. You have to start investing in resources, investing in assets that can act as a substitute for that external savior that you are looking for to take care of you at 70. Now it is the time to start strategizing as to how we could put 1 or 2 assets together that can work on our behalf, because your strength is going to fail you, your time, your energy is going to fail you. As you and I, we are moving from one place to another now. A time is going to come whereby to move from your bedroom to restroom is going to be hard for you. You are not going to be up and doing as you are doing right now. So we have to live in a state of urgency in terms of creating systems that can be working for us at our vulnerable age of 70 and above. So if you are thinking that, oh, maybe I'm not going to get to that 70, get rid of that. Probably you are going to get to your 100. You are going to be 100 before you get out of here, and at that time you are going to be eating, and it will not be good for you to be relying on your children, because your children are not going to look at your way. Now is the right time to invest in assets that can be working on your behalf, even when you are sleeping, even when you are no longer active in the place of work. Very important. There's a man that we went to Ijebode to inspect one of our land. The man told us the reason why he wanted to sell the land. So after he trained all his children and they grew up, all of them moved to the city, and then they started living their life. And all of a sudden, one of his children came. He took his mother away, and he left the father in the village. So everybody, including the mother, were in the city. So the man has the property. Since the children could not send him something as he expects to, the property that he invested in, plus the one that they have as family that they shared as inheritance, those are the properties that are helping the man out, because probably the mother might have told them about one or two things about their father that is making them to be abandoning their father. But let's say the father did not have those property. Let's say he squandered all his resources, was just relying on his job and all of that. Where do you think that man is going to be feeding from today? The man will be dying of hunger, thanks to the fact that he has property, one or two properties that he has to sell. Which is why you and I need to start preparing for old age from today, because
so many people give excuses and justify why they don't own any property yet. And most times the go-to excuse is Lagos is just too expensive. What if I told you there's a smarter solution? How about owning a piece of land in Ogun State, and not just any land? How about owning a piece of land here at Olumo County Estate? Located in Egbeda, Kobakbe Road, Obafemi Owode local government area in Ogun State, this estate offers you serenity, affordability, and long-term value. At Olumo County, you get to experience high appreciation value, flexible payment plan, prime location, gated community, and the title here is Registered Survey. Olumo County is in close proximity to Day Waterman College, Nigerian Immigration Office, Ogun State Tech Hub, Governor's Office, and more. We have 300 square meter and 600 square meter plot sizes here, and with just 300,000 initial deposits and a payment spread of 6 months, you could become a homeowner here. Stop waiting for the perfect time, create it. Olumo County is your golden opportunity to own land, build wealth, secure your future without breaking the bank. So what are you waiting for? Call or send us a message today to get started.
That time is going to come. And that leads us to the last point, which is number 3, and that is to protect every asset of yours with all your might, as if your life depends on them. Everything that you have right now, all the resources that you have, protect them, because they are going to be external agents to come and to take them away from you. All sort of dubious kind of spending. We have to detach ourselves from them, because there are so many people that are going to approach us with a lot of gimmicks to take away our resources that we have worked so hard for, things that we have invested in, things that could serve as a foundation to that life of 70 that we are looking to live as a champion rather than a beggar. If you cannot protect those things now, people are going to take them away from you. If you cannot put a protective cover on your assets, all the assets that you have now, if you cannot set boundary from people taking advantage of your resources that you have worked hard for, then you're going to live your life at 70 as a beggar, as someone that is going to be relying and begging children to eat. Old age is not the time to depend on your children. Old age is the time for you and I to have our children depending on the resources and the investments that we have made or done over the years. That is the time for our children to depend on us, not the other way around. And that starts with seeing yourself as your own savior at old age without waiting for children to come and save you at that vulnerable age. I believe so well that this has been of great help to you. And before I leave you, if you really want to start the journey of investing in assets that are going to serve as a benchmark, as a foundation to that great life at 70, in real estate, in agriculture, the investment that can serve as a system that can be fetching and generating money for you at that vulnerable age, then my team and I are more than willing to be of help to you. We have so many lands for land banking. If you want to go into land banking in strategic locations in Nigeria that can fetch you a lot of money at your vulnerable age of 70 and above, then you can reach out to us. We can help you with assets, landed properties, and then as well as get you agricultural system that can be working for you even when you are sleeping. So share this video with as many people as possible. Comment, like, share, and subscribe if you're watching us from YouTube. And I'll see you in our next video. Till next time, peace.